What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So the other day, I received this particular TikTok clip, and it was dominated by an older woman. She must be in her 50s or early 60s. And they were pretty much talking about that marriage is a scam that nobody really knows about. But it's an interesting twist. So what I'll do is play that clip here, and then we'll get into it.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
Marriage, but only if you're a woman. They start training you early. When you're a little girl, you get that pink plastic kitchen play set and pink plastic vacuum cleaner so you know exactly what your role is going to be when you grow up. Then you get the fairy tales and the Disney treatment where the damsel in distress meets the handsome prince and they live happily ever after. Then you graduate to romance novels and rom-coms where those red flags are dressed up as adorable little quirks. By the time you're in high school, you're shopping for prom dresses in the same store as wedding gowns, so it seems like it's the next logical step. But while everyone and everything in the world is teaching you how to be a good wife, they're not teaching men how to be good husbands. Even though many women have conversations before to get married, a lot of them still find themselves taking on the lion's share of the household work. Meanwhile, your husband is benefiting off all your labor. And after 20 years, when you're no longer a size 2 or appealing to him, he drops you for a younger model, only to do it all over again.
So you heard what she had to say there. She talks about that young women, when they are young, they are bought, sort of the silverware set. In other words, they're teaching women that they got to serve their family and stuff like that. And then as they get older, they will buy prom dresses, which is in the same place that you buy wedding dresses. And then what they end up getting with are husbands who they have to end up providing for. These husbands are typically no good. And then at the end, when you gain weight and get fat, they leave you for a younger woman and they do it over again. It sounds delusional because to many of us, it is, right? Because you would think that women have control over marriages, and they don't. Because marriage is a scam, that's true, but it's not from the female perspective. It's for the male perspective. Because what happens to a lot of men in marriages? You get to be told that you must provide for this woman. You must take care of this woman. You must put her in a nice house. You must get her a car. You need to pay for the wedding. You don't need to sign a prenup. And then once you get married to her and she has you by the balls, she can stop having sex. You get to be in a sexless marriage. But guess what? If you cheat on her, it's bad. It's fornication. And no matter what she does, you get to go to marriage counselors to find out why she doesn't want to fuck you. Even though you got to still pay the bills, you get to deal with that shit. Yeah, because that's just the funnest thing to do. And then after she doesn't want to be with you, she takes all of your stuff, half of it, then you lose the other half in attorney fees. And then you can't see your kids. See, that's the real story. That's the real story that happens every day. But see, women have to have some kind of sob story in marriages because the reason why is, well, there always has to be somebody that's a victim, and it's never men. Men are always the ones that are causing problems. But see, here's something that she doesn't want to mention. Men are not interested in marriage as much as they used to. If marriage is such a scam, why are there for every 5 women that want to get married, only 4 men want to get married, and men are less in the population? Because ultimately men get nothing from marriage. I'll tell you why. Today's age, at least in the 70s and the 60s, in the 80s maybe, your woman would want to cook you a nice meal. She would at least have the drive to try to serve you. She would at least respect you as the man of the house. You're not going to get that in this time. What if society is teaching women to be wives? Where? Where are they watching it at? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Is there some things like wife school? There's nothing like that. There's no institution that's teaching these women how to respect their husband or how to actively participate in marriages or to participate in communications, in relationships. There is nothing like that. What society tells women is no matter how many kids you have, that guy is supposed to accept it. That guy is worthless. He should be lucky to be with you. He should be lucky to take care of the kid that you have by other guys. Okay? And no matter how much weight you gain and you don't want to have sex with him, he should be lucky to slave for you. And if he doesn't, he can lose all his stuff in a divorce and be broke while you take his money and go to the next guy who didn't help you do anything and give it to him for free, and that guy doesn't even like you. That's what happens. Okay? Now, insofar as women taking care of men and men leaving you after you get fat, well, let's talk about this. What kind of women are dealing with men that they have to provide for? That's an issue right there. It indicates that that woman is not competitive to where she can get a good man, right? She didn't work on herself. See, there's one thing that a lot of women don't want to talk about, and that is competition. This world is competitive. If you don't compete, you die. You don't like competing, you're in the wrong country. This is the United States of America. And I'm not saying it's about all women, but you know, the women are complaining like her. If you can't get a man who is a high earning man, who is a motivated man, a man that you don't have to tell anything to, he goes out and get it. You know why? Because there's a lot of competition for men like that. Because a lot of good looking women, a lot of feminine women, they are going to go after a man like that. And you don't want to go after a man like that. So shut your mouth. You'll get stuck with the guy who works the lumber yard, who has a methamphetamine addiction. That's who you get to marry. Because you're not high enough on the totem pole. It's the same thing that you would tell a guy who's 45, balding, fat, drinks beer every day, and he makes $13 an hour. If he wants a top-notch hot blonde model, what are you going to tell him? You're too fat. You're too bald. You smell like ass. You need to get your life together before you can do that. Go hit the gym. That's what you would tell a guy like that. But no matter how much weight women gain, or whatever the case is, whatever they do, men are just supposed to put up with whatever they do. And the responsibility to all men is like, no, because see, if I stop paying the bills, if I stop doing what I'm supposed to do, you're gone, right? See, men have conditions on their love with women. See, women have a conditional aspect of love. If you stop spending money, you stop taking care of her, you stop doing whatever, she can be out. But if she stops having sex with you, she stops respecting you, you're supposed to put up with it. And if you don't put up with it, they're going to go there and cry. They're going to complain about it. And the answer is no. No, you will not be looking any kind of way. No, you're not going to be in a sexless marriage here. You're going to get out. No, you're not going to give me a bad attitude because you will take it somewhere else. You're not going to do it here. You will be gone. End of story. It's not going to happen here. And if you don't like it, get the fuck on. That's it. Because women will gladly tell you the same thing if they have a position of authority. If you have a woman making more money than you and you disrespect her, she's going to let you know real quick who she is and where you can go. Right? The same works here. So that shaming language is not going to work. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first camp at the top, and as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.